Chelsea Football Club, the news around you in the transfer windows is never boring. Chelsea news is always entertaining, and look what we have on the plate today. Victor Osimhen is not coming to Chelsea, and we are going to find out why. I've got the little details, and he's the biggest obstacle here. Not Napoli, they want to get the deal done. Chelsea want to get the deal done, but apparently Victor said, I'm not going on loan. I'll explain that and why he doesn't want to do it. Samu looks set to be joining Chelsea. Not only has he accepted personal terms, Atletico have accepted a bid, and more importantly, they're waiting on Julian Alvarez for £81 million. Great British pounds. That is wild to me. Enzo Maresca finally decides to speak out, and when he speaks out, he talks about why Chelsea sell youth academy players, very open, and why Nicholas Jackson is nowhere near a left winger in his eyes, and why he's a number 9. Actually very insightful. And one more thing. Omorodion's teammate at Atletico Madrid basically confirms his exit. Let's get into it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. 1,000 likes is what we want on this video. We've been doing it recently. Let's do it again. In the comments below, let me know what number like you are, so I know you're a real one. Let's continue. I'm going to set this story out almost like a story in chronological order. We're going to talk about how Victor Osimhen's move is not happening and why it's not happening, and the information that we're receiving from Fabrizio Romano, which is as good as it comes, right? This is arguably the most important ITK you should listen to after Ornstein. And what is happening here is because Ornstein initially said Chelsea could get both. I never believed it. I said this in yesterday's video. This would be crazy. I said Matt Law is waffling. Then Ornstein came out with the same story. So most probably they got briefed the same thing. However, it's not happening, and this is why it's not happening. Victor Osimhen and his agent do not want a loan with any type of option. They want an obligation move. They want, if we're leaving Napoli, this is our club, and they want stability. Within every right to do that. I think Victor Osimhen as an individual wants to be stable. He doesn't want to live 1 year in Napoli, the next year move to London, and then it doesn't work out, and then he has to relocate to somewhere else. Or worse, he has to go back to Napoli and no longer be in the plans and have that fiasco on his hands. Totally understand. Furthermore, he does not want a wage cut. He does not believe he wants a wage cut. He signed a new contract with Napoli where he's entitled to a lot of money. I think he makes around about 300k a week. He doesn't want that wage cut. He wants, I think it's 12 million net. This is before tax, by the way. So after tax, no, this is after tax. So the money is crazy that he wants. However, he's already got it at Napoli. So in his head, if I'm an 80 million pound player and you're signing me, you're paying me like I'm an 80 million pound player. Chelsea, on the other hand, they can't pull this deal off. We're not in the Champions League. We don't have the financial muscle. We need to be in the Champions League next year. And the negotiations with Napoli were very interesting. Apparently, they were talking about, look, let's put an obligation in if we make the Champions League, an option if we don't make the Champions League. And they were trying to think of every little way. Osimhen and his agent don't want this deal. This is the news we're getting from Fabrizio. And the reason is, I don't think he just doesn't want the stability. I don't think he wants, I come to Chelsea, it doesn't work out. I come to Chelsea, it's not working out, and I'm on loan. All of a sudden, I get benched and I miss a year of my career. I don't blame him. Chelsea don't have the juice. And honestly, I've said this many times before and I've got cooked by all of you. I don't think Victor Osimhen's worth the money that's been touted. I don't think he's worth 105 million. I don't think Victor Osimhen is worth the 70 million that people are saying. I think he's a phenomenal goal scorer. But the problem with Victor Osimhen is he, outside of his goal scoring attributes and his absolutely amazing movement in the box, he doesn't offer nothing outside of the box in terms of holding up the play, bringing other people in. He's very direct. And more importantly, he's always injured. It's never a big injury, but it's always something freakish. Like, it's something that keeps him out, and he never plays more than 27 games in the league. And his goal returns are showing it. Because when he plays a lot, he scores. But when he doesn't play, and if he's not available, you can't pay that kind of money for him. And this is where the situation gets sticky. If we get him, I only want him with a loan and an option. And the reason I want that is because if it works out, sign him. If it doesn't, he's not our problem anymore. However, he doesn't want that. And one of the reasons is because he knows what I am saying is true. It's as simple as that. What Chelsea are doing, though, is absolutely wild to me. And I'm going to explain to you why I think it's wild. Samu Omorodion, from what I have seen, looks like a very good player. Some people are saying he reminds them of Romelu Lukaku at Anderlecht and at Chelsea when he broke through. I think the only attributes that you can have is they're both very developed at that young age. They could bully men. They are absolutely like built like tanks. They get around. However, I think Lukaku was a better finisher. I really do. I think Lukaku's all-round game was better. I think Lukaku was more developed at that age. Lukaku at age 19 was scoring, I think it was 15, 16 goals for West Brom, like consistently in the Premier League. And then he went to Everton and absolutely destroyed it. Lukaku was scoring goals since the age of 16 at Anderlecht. Like, he was already an accomplished player by the time he made a move to Chelsea. Yet, Samu is a good player, but he can't finish. I've watched so many compilations. I've tried to be as open-minded. But Chelsea believe they've got all the raw attributes in this player. Like 6'4", power, presses, good touch in for a big guy, can run in behind, willing runner. The only thing is he can't finish, and I don't know whether that's going to help him in the long term. And this investment is massive. It's £35 million. It's nowhere near as crazy, but it rides on Julian Alvarez going to Atletico Madrid from Manchester City. Manchester City have apparently accepted an £81 million move. That is bonkers to me. A lot of people are going to say, Alex, why aren't we in for Alvarez? Alvarez is not worth £81 million, people. £81 million for Julian Alvarez. Listen, I didn't think Declan Rice was worth 100 million. I didn't think Moises Caicedo was worth 100 million. I didn't think Enzo Fernandez was worth 100 million. I believe these fees are just ludicrous at this moment in time. There is value for money out there. You just have to scout. Nico Williams, whilst I think he's not the perfect player, 50 million is a fair fee. Oh, 81 million pounds for Julian Alvarez is ridiculous. It's bonkers for a great finisher that offers you no build-up play, can't win the ball in the air, and struggles like to lead the line. I don't know what you're buying. Yes, he's going to go to Atletico and score goals. But I just feel like the utilization of their money this window has been weird. And I'm not one to talk about, oh, like, he's not a great player. He's a good player. He might be even become a great player. He's won a lot. Look how much he's won in his career. I just think the fees are stupid. And what we're doing with Samu now, there is a simple way. Let me digress for a bit. When I was younger and I lived in my parents' house and I wanted to move out, right? I said, oh, I'm going to go rent. My dad was like, nah, you're not renting. And I said, why? He said, the big reason is you want to save up and buy your own house, right? Which I did. I ended up listening to him and I did it age 25, right? Smashed it. However, and this is where it gets very interesting. What my dad always used to say was, after I listened to him and we had a small conversation, he explained to me. He wasn't telling me what to do, he was advising me what to do. Because the reality is, if he told me what to do, I would have went and done the opposite because I would have been petulant and annoyed. And now everyone's blaming the sporting directors. You see how I link that in? Everyone's telling them, what are you doing? What are you doing Samu for? Guys, let them do what they want to do. Because sometimes, as an adult, you need to do what you want to do and learn from the mistakes. If they believe Samu is the right solution, there's no point us moaning and us crying. Because the reality is, they're going to pay for these mistakes if he doesn't work. If he works, they're going to get applause, they're going to get pay rises, they're going to get credited, they will be lauded. If it flops, I want one of them fired. Genuinely, I want one of them handing their P45, I want one of them to be unemployed, I want one of them to be the person that gets the blame. I am sick and tired of them going for the cheaper options. When you accumulate the money, they're not fixing the first team directly. Yes, our first team's good. I personally don't think we need to sign anyone else. I genuinely would be happy with closing the window now, being happy with Nicholas Jackson and Christopher Nkunku and Mark Guiu as our number 9s. I'll take it. Why we need Samu, I don't understand. Because for me, whilst you see potential in him, why did you get Guiu? Unless you're going to loan Guiu out and then Guiu gets flipped in a few years' time. But then why did we need the briefs? Oh, he's coming in as a first team member. I'm really annoyed. I don't understand. The final piece of news is on Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca yesterday spoke about, in his press conference for the Real Madrid game, he spoke about the emphasis of what's happening at Chelsea is happening at most clubs. There was a question straight away, oh, homegrown talent's getting sold. He goes, not only at Chelsea, it's happening everywhere. And they're like, no, but Chelsea's spending more money. He goes, all clubs spend money. You know what I love about him? He doesn't brush away from questions. He sticks it back on the journalists, as he should. And he openly said, look, people shouldn't be complaining about what Chelsea are doing. It's the rules. The rules are enabling this behavior. He mentioned Totti. He said the way Totti was and played at one club for his whole career, people love that. Fans adore that. However, and this is the problem, if the rules are put in a position where you sell one individual and get 35% profit, 35 million on the book, or you have to sell 3 players that aren't homegrown to get 35 million on the book, which one do you think the club's going to go for? And this is common sense. The problem is, I think they need to recalculate how they do PSR. And then homegrown players will be treated the same as non-homegrown players. And people in my chat consistently, right? You lot really rattle me when I read this. they don't want to win. All they're about is their pure profit. They're not about their pure profit. The reason they're doing this is so that they can invest more into future talents or current talents. You don't agree with the fact that they're investing in who they are. But that's not the point. They're still investing. Bad owners are the ones that don't do nothing. Bad owners are Mike Ashley at Newcastle that just don't spend money. They'll sell players, make profit, take it out the club. Our boys aren't taking out nothing from the club. Genuinely. Like, I think people need to understand that. The second thing he spoke about was Nicholas Jackson and how he sees him as a number 9. And he can play on the left wing here and there, but it was just trying stuff. And for me, this is beautiful. Nico is a good number 9. I agree with Enzo Maresca. He's a very good number 9. He can play on the left. He shouldn't be. I don't think in this system, right, where he's going to have to hog the touchline and take someone on and cross it with his left foot or tuck in and shoot or tuck in and cross. I don't think we're getting the best out of Nico Jackson. I think Nico Jackson is a very good number 9 and he just needs to improve his finishing. If he clicks with his finishing, we have got one heck of a baller. And this is why I don't understand the Samu deal. Because if Samu comes in for 35 million, Nico costs 32. Which one of them's sitting on the bench? Which one of them is your starting guy? Which one of them's fighting it out with each other? Nico Jackson is selfish as a striker as it is. Can you imagine if he's fighting for a starting spot, how selfish he's going to be? Like, genuinely, this is going to be very interesting. And honestly, the way they handle this Omorodion situation is either going to be Cole Palmer-esque and slap, or it's going to be hopelessly bad. And we are going to sit here in 12 months because we're either trying to get rid of Samu or Nicholas Jackson's demanding to leave because he's not playing. And that is going to be a big problem for me, in my opinion. Because I think Nico, as an all-round striker, is sick. He just can't finish. And that is a problem, but it's one that you can fix. I think you can teach people to finish because he does everything else to a very good standard. He is getting better in the air. Just look at the first game of last season in comparison to the last game. Look at the way he dribbles. Look at the way he holds the ball up. Look at the way he links up play. Look at the way he flicks the ball. He's strong. He's quick. He's intelligent. He's a good player. I don't think we need another striker. Like, I hate to be an echo board, but it is what it is. So to round up this video, Victor Osimhen is not coming to Chelsea. I don't care how they try to pull it. He does not want that loan. Samu Omorodion, there's been a bid accepted of 35 million. It's a 7-year contract. It all depends on Alvarez to go to from Manchester City to Madrid, and that deal will get through. And finally, Enzo does not see Jackson as a long-term solution at left wing. He sees him as a number 9. This was the Kavkas View. Hit that like button. You made it this far on your way out. In the comments, tell me what number like you were. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day. Bye, guys.